hope all of you are ready for this training. Strap on your seatbelt, man, because this is going to be exciting. I'm really excited about this training. So let's dive into it. Let's talk a little bit about the duplication pipeline. When you analyze what's happening in your organization as you become a leader in Riman, you want to look at the areas that you need to work on, right? And how you'll find that out is by looking at the different areas, right? It's like whenever you get somebody started, how's that connection call, right? Getting them on a connection call or a welcome call, getting them connected with them, your brand new people, right? Right when somebody comes in your organization, everybody should be reaching out, doing a welcome call on your team. And then you want to set up a launch meeting, right? Whether that's a pop-up or a Zoom, so they can expose their first prospects to Riman and start building their team fast, right? Obviously, you want to teach them how to attract and attack, right? How to invite, and then obviously pre-talk, find out what people's hot buttons are before you share with them the opportunity, expose them to the business, right? Whether a Zoom or a pop-up, however you're sharing, and then obviously overcoming the objections they have, enroll them and receive payment, obviously plug them into the daily Zoom so they can get more excited about what's happening and understand more and hear different people's perspective, and then obviously create a manager and duplicate. So this is really the recruiting pipeline, right? Your organization should always be growing. And if it's not, you want to look at what area in this duplication pipeline do you need to work on, right? If you're exposing a lot of people, but they're not getting started, you have to look, okay, maybe am I inviting them wrong? Am I not finding out their hot buttons, right? I'm showing people the plans, but they're not getting in. Maybe my presentation, or maybe I'm not overcoming objections, receiving payments. You have to look and analyze where you need to work at, right? If you're not getting in front of a lot of people, you've got to be looking at, basically what's my invite look like, right? Am I connecting with my brand new planners and making sure that I help them, attack their center of influence? And I'm going to talk more about recruiting, obviously, next week on Friday morning. But this is what I want to kind of share with you. When you look at it, this is the areas that you want to address. But today, I'm going to talk more about duplication and really what that looks like and how to create massive duplication. So when you're looking at your organization, right? Law number one, right? Know the thermostat. You've got to know the thermostat of your organization, right? So what is a thermostat? A thermostat is how you control the temperature. A thermometer is what records the temperature. So the temperature of your organization, how do you record that, right? That's when you're going to know what the temperature is, and then you can control the temperature and you can change it. So how do you change the temperature? How do you change the temperature? How do you read the temperature? To me, it's very simple, right? You look at new planners that are getting started, okay? You want to make sure there's a lot of new planners getting started in your organization, right? That'll tell you how, if right now you're like, man, Tim, you know what? There's not a lot of brand new people getting started on my team. All right, we'll address that. Let's get that going. And once you get new people started on your team, you want to make sure that you're what? Creating new managers. So how you control the temperature is making sure that the people that get started on your team, they reach the first earned position that they're getting to manager. If you sign up 20 people and you don't help them get to manager, why did you sign them up? Why did you enroll brand new planners if you're not getting them on the escalator of success? So you've got to know where the thermostat is in your organization. How do you change the temperature, right? Your thermostat helps you change the what? The temperature. And that is making sure new people that are on your team they're the most important people. Making sure that we're doing welcome calls, connection calls with them, helping them launch their business, get in front of their top prospects, teaching them how to share the products and share the story. So once we get new people to become managers, we know they're going to go what? Senior manager, right? If they go senior manager, we know they're going to what? Go team leader. And our organization is going to what? It's going to grow, right? It's going to grow. So understand the thermometer. Okay, that's what records the temperature. The thermostat is how you change the temperature. So if you want to ignite your momentum, all you got to do is get all your brand new people focused in on getting them to manager, right? Let's talk a little bit about it, right? Let's talk a little bit about the thermostat, okay? Let's talk a little bit more about this and how this works. You want to make sure that obviously if you're a team leader right now, okay, you might get there with maybe 5 or 6 legs, right? But you want to make sure no matter what, you get 10 legs of managers or higher. Right? I can promise you that. Okay. If you're a team leader and you introduce your first 3 people and they duplicate fast, you might go team leader with 3 or 4 or 5 legs, but you still want to get your 10 done, right? You want to make sure you have 10 legs of managers. Even if you're a team leader before that, all the brand new people that when you get started, you want to understand this is the big picture of how you want to build it. you want to have multiple legs, right? My mentor taught me you drive width for profitability. You drive depth for stability. So profitability, the wider you go, the more profitable your business is going to be. The deeper you go, the depth is going to create stability. The width is going to control profitability. So it's like once you go team leader one time, what do you want to do? Go team leader again. Like that's a no-brainer. Like what I'm trying to do is requalify for national director again, right? It's like you need 4 directors to go national director. Got that done. Now I'm trying to get to 4 more directors faster than the first 4, right? So once you hit team leader, what do you want to do? Go team leader again, right? Once you hit go team leader again, go team leader again. And you want to try to beat what you did. Like say you become a team leader in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. You want to try to become a team leader again, meaning do it all over again, right? You get your 10 managers on hire, get 10 more, right? You want to always be trying to develop new organizations, leading from the front, but always understand as soon as you hit team leader, you want to make sure no matter what, you get your 10. Now, if you hit team leader with 10 legs, you're going to be in a really nice position. Okay. So you want to make sure people understand, because sometimes it'll be like, all I do is get 3 to get 3. And it's like, you're not setting people up to win. You want to set your people up to win by teaching them. You want to have 10 legs of managers or higher once you hit team leader. Even if you hit team leader before that, still get your 10 legs, right? So number 2, right? Okay. Duplication law number 2, simplicity is the strategy, right? Simplicity is the strategy. What do I mean by that, right? It's like my mentor told me when I got started, you want to break out the big crowns, right? You want to break out the big crowns, the big jumbo crowns, right? It's like, it's keeping this business like super simple. Use, talk, demo, right? I don't know about that. All I know is, right? I don't know about that. All I know is, right? It's super simple. Change your face, change your finance, right? Keep it super simple. You want to play tag, right? It's like playing tag. The more simpler you make it, the faster it'll duplicate, right? So ignorance on fire beats intelligence on ice, right? So how do you play tag? Okay, number 1, it's your turn. What do? You run. You tag somebody. Now it's their turn, and you run. It's like playing tag is got to be the easiest game. Now I know some of you maybe are maybe dialing in from a country that doesn't play tag, right? You're like, I don't know how to play tag. Super simple. You're it. You run, you tag somebody, now they're it, and it's their turn, you run away. You run away from them. It's like, it's a super simple game, okay? It doesn't take, you don't have to be a genius to be able to play tag. So you want to create simplicity. Simplicity is what's going to create massive duplication, right? It's playing tag. It's like the more simpler you make it, the faster it'll grow, right? Because here's what we want to realize. We have the same company. Everybody here has the same Riman, right? We all have the same compensation plan. We all have the same skincare industry. We all have the same training system. We all have the same products. Everything's the same. The only difference is what? The only variable is you. You're the most important piece of that puzzle. So we want to develop you, right? We want to teach you how to become the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. So how do we do that, right? How do we do that? We understand simplicity is the strategy, right? It's absolutely the way that it works. Very simple. It's a transference of emotion, right? If I love the products, right? I love Riman's products, okay? I probably use more products consistently than anybody in the company, right? I'm always putting the products on. I love the products. And I transfer that emotion, right? A transference of emotion. If I spelled that wrong, don't worry about it, okay? Transference of emotion, that's how I get a customer. If I can make you feel the same way I feel about the products, and I can transfer that emotion, you're going to want to become a customer. Very simple to understand, right? And now, if I love the opportunity, right, and how I feel about the opportunity, I love Riman. I love the income opportunity available at Riman. If I love the opportunity, what I have to do, I have to transfer that emotion into somebody else. That's how I get a new planner. It's a transference of emotion. It's sharing your love and your passion and letting other people feel it, right? If people can feel my love for the products, they're going to be sold on the products, right? If they can feel my love for the opportunity, they're going to be in, they're going to be a new planner. Now, the key is how do you get people to work, right? How do you get your team motivated? Super simple. Like, I love working. Like, I love sharing Riman, right? I love doing the business. So I love doing it, and I'm just doing it all day long. And guess what happens? Other people, they see what I'm doing and they get excited too. It's a transference of emotion. If I can make you feel the same way I feel about promoting the opportunity and working and sharing the story and sharing the Tiger Grass story and the Jeju Live energy. That's all I'm doing all day long. I'm sharing Riman nonstop, getting people excited about the opportunity, getting them started as planners. If you buy into working, it's easy to transfer that emotion into other people, right? Because I'm leading by example. I'm leading from the front, and I just go, I don't know about that. All I know is this is what I'm doing, and this is what's working. So how you lead is by example, right? So if you love the products, you can transfer that emotion, you'll get a customer, right? If you love the opportunity, you transfer that emotion, you'll get a new planner. If you love working, you transfer that emotion, you're going to motivate your team to do the same thing. Keep it simple. It's not that hard to figure out. People are like, how do you get your team to work, Tim? Super simple. I just work. Like if you saw my schedule, you'd be like, dang, Tim, you do a lot. Yeah, because I love this. Like I love Riman. I love doing this business. I love share because to me, it's like opening up a Christmas gift. Think about what I'm saying. All day long, I'm just opening up Christmas gift after Christmas gift after Christmas gift after Christmas gift. You never know who's going to be that next leader. You never know who's going to be that next $1 million earner that you sign up. And you got to realize you're one recruit away from massive momentum. You're just one recruit away from massive momentum. So fall in love with the process of building the organization. Fall in love with the process of talking to people. Some people are like, man, you know what? I'm scared to talk to people. I'm scared not to. I don't want to, I don't want to go to, after I'm gone and I get to heaven and God's like, dude, I gave you an opportunity. You didn't share with other people. Like, I don't want that day of judgment to come on me that I wasn't sharing. I feel like this is a gift. Riman's a gift. And it's my responsibility to share it with as many people as possible. And that's how you get people motivated to work, right? So when you start, this is law number 3, duplication law number 3, right? Is start with the end in mind. Start with the end in mind. Meaning when you get a brand new planner started, what are we doing, right? We're duplicating. Whenever you get a brand new person started, you got to realize they can't walk yet. It's just like a brand new baby. They can't walk yet. They don't even know what walking is. So they're unconscious, meaning they're unaware, and they're incompetent, meaning they can't do it. They're unaware that they can't do it. And that's how brand new planners are. When they get started, they don't know what they don't know, right? And then what happens is stage 2 is you become conscious that you're incompetent, meaning you become aware that you can't do it. And that's where we got to be there for our brand new people to walk them through that, right? So stage 2 is now, it's like stage 1 is you don't know that you don't know. Stage 2 is you know that you don't know, right? And then stage 3 is a conscious competent stage. Conscious meaning aware, competent meaning you can do it. Right? Meaning what? Right? That's where you can walk. It's like, now you're kind of wobbly walking around and you're kind of like still falling a little bit, but you're aware you can do it, but you've got to focus on it. And that's what you want to create. Getting a lot of people in that conscious competent stage, meaning that they can do it, but they got to focus on it. The example I give is where I live in California, man, they got baby rattlesnakes, man. They got rattlesnakes everywhere. This summer, I saw 3 of them in like a 1 week. Okay. And the one I was the most scared of was the one across the street from my house. Okay. Because the animal control person came and I went outside and they're like, it's a baby rattlesnake. And I was like, oh my God, they're the most dangerous because when they strike you, they don't release, they don't hold back any venom. Like if a big rattlesnake hits you, it's going to keep its venom in case there's another predator. Baby rattlesnakes, they don't know any different. They're going to sting you and give you all they got. And that's what happens when you start developing leaders. Once people know how to do it, once they know how to share the story, once they know how to share the opportunity, they're like baby rattlesnakes. I remember when I first started to be able to sign people up by myself, I was like unstoppable. It was like, oh my God, I could do it. And you become unstoppable. But until that time, you're kind of constantly incompetent. You're conscious, you're aware that you can't do it. Once you become conscious competent, you become, you know you can do it. And then you become the 4th stage is unconscious competent. You don't even think about it. Like some of you today, you were walking around all day long and you weren't even like thinking about it. You just did it naturally, right? You didn't even have to think about it. That's where you want to get to with this business. And that's where a lot of you already are, is you're already made it to that conscious competent stage. Like literally, it doesn't matter for me. It's like you could throw me on a Zoom at 2 a.m. and throw water on me, wake me up out of my sleep at 3 a.m. and I'll jump on a Zoom and I'm going to be able to do it because I've been doing it so much. So the more that you do it, the better you get, right? So just realize that those are the 4 stages of learning. And we want to start with it in mind when we get somebody started. We got to realize it's going to take time to teach, train, and duplicate. It's going to take time to share with them how to do it, right? It's tell, show, try, do. right? It's tell, show, try, do. But let's look at it. When you first get a brand new person started week 1, when I sign a brand new person up, it's like, look, I'm going to do 100%. You watch and learn. Get me on the phone with people nonstop. Get me on the phone with people nonstop. First week, I'm doing 100%. You want to watch and learn. Grab a pen, grab a paper. When I tell them on week 1, I'm going to do 100%. You watch and learn. And then I tell them week number 2, I'm going to do 80. You're going to do 20. And then week number 3, I'm going to do 20. You're going to do 80. By week 4, guess what? I'm going to watch and admire you while you do 100%. So when I get someone started, I explain to them 4 weeks of duplication. The first week, get me in front of as many people as possible. Why? So you can watch and learn how I do it. If your week 1 is going to be me, you're going to be watching me do it. If you get me in front of 2 people in that first week, how many times are you going to watch me do it? 2 times. If you get me in front of 20 people week 1, how many times are you going to watch me do it? 20 times, right? You want to watch me as much as possible. So week number 2, you're going to start doing a little bit more. I'm going to be doing a little bit less. Week number 3, I'm going to be doing a lot less. You're going to be doing a lot more. And by week number 4, I'm going to watch it in my while you do 100%. So when I get people started, I explain this to them. Why? Why do I do that? Because it changes their listening. If you know you're going to have to do something in 4 weeks, you're going to be watching and learning with a different set of eyes. You're going to be listening with a different set of ears. So when we get people started, we want to understand, why are we signing them up? We're signing them up so they can learn how to do it. Why do I enroll new planners? I don't enroll new planners to sell them products. If I was just trying to sell people products, I would just do what? Just get them as a customer. I'm looking to do what? I'm looking to develop a leader, somebody that knows how to do this business without my support, where I'm just like their biggest cheerleader, right? How do you do that? You got to get people started with it in mind. You got to know that that's where we're going and explain that to people. So let me give you a better example. I think that you'll like, okay? Better example is this, okay? Any of you that have kids, you know, right? Your goal is to teach people how to do everything you can do without you doing it, okay? I got 4 kids, and I'm telling you what, the most exciting thing that I did was teach them how to wipe their own butts, right? That's what you want to do. You want to teach your toddler how to wipe their own butts, right? And you know how it is when you first start teaching them how to wipe their butts, and if you do the laundry, you're like, dang, man, they're missing the boat, right? They're missing the boat. There's some skid marks in these drawers, right? So it's like, but that's what we're doing. We're teaching them how to do it. I'm not trying to wipe somebody's butt that's 40 years old, right? My oldest son's 27. I'm not trying to wipe his butt. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not trying to wipe my 27-year-old son's butt, or my 25-year-old daughter's butt, or my 18-year-old's butt, even my 9-year-old's butt. I'm not trying to do it. I'm not trying to do it. I'm about to be a grandpa, right? I'm going to be a G daddy in a few months, right? It's as soon as that baby's born, as soon as you change that first diaper, you're like, man, I can't wait till you learn how to do this stuff on your own, right? That is duplication. You know you can wipe a butt better than a toddler, and you know they're going to have some doo-doo draws. They're going to have some skid marks in there, but you've got to pass the baton, right? You got to pass the baton, and you got to let them do it. So the prime example is in a book called The Talent Code, right? I gave you my example. My example is teaching people how to wipe their butt, right? Then I'm going to give you Daniel Coyle's example, right? In his book, The Talent Code, he says a teacher is one who makes themselves progressively unnecessary. A teacher is one who makes themselves progressively unnecessary, right? That's the magic of this business, is your tell, show, try, do. Tell, show, try, do. And what are you doing? You call me up and during the day, what am I doing? I'm doing something. I'm talking to somebody about Riman, right? You already know that, right? Nonstop. Like if you saw my schedule, you'd be like, dang, this guy's going for it. And the reason being is because I have to slay the most dragons, right? Who is the leader? The leader is the person slaying the most dragons, right? I'm going to grab a sword. I'm going to grab a shield. Hey guys, I'm going to go slay some dragons. Let's go. And you lead from the front. Okay. You lead from the front. When you lead from the front, people are going to follow your lead, but people can't, it's like people can't follow in your feet if your feet aren't moving. Like people can't follow in your footsteps if your feet aren't moving. So you set the pace, you set the tone. And that's why I was talking to Danny earlier, man. Today, Danny Bay just landed in Korea, and he's showing me he's meeting with one of my groups over there. And I said, Danny, I said, the refreshing thing about working with you is I already know what you're doing. You're grinding. I go, that's the thing about that I respect about you is in 30 years, I've never had to worry about what Danny Bay is doing, Whether you were my sponsor or my downline, it never mattered to me. I already knew what you were doing. You were grinding. See, somebody that works for me, any of you guys that work with me, some of you might not work with me. You already know what I'm doing. I am working my butt off. Why? Because I love it. It's a labor of love. I love opening Christmas gifts. I love sharing the Riman opportunity. I love getting a brand new person started. I love helping a new person launch. I love building a new leg of business. I love it. I love to find new people and show them my passion. And that's where you want to be at, right? And so law number 4 is understand leaders math. So there's leaders math, and there's basically, it's a completely different leaders that develop leaders and leaders develop followers. This is from Law of Explosive Growth from John C. Maxwell's book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. In that book, he talks about Papa John's, okay? And I'm not here to promote Papa John's, okay? I'm not a big, I try not to eat that kind of stuff, but I'm telling you what, a couple times a year, I do it, But here's what I'll tell you about Papa John's. They blew up out of nowhere. Like when I was a kid, I don't remember Papa John's, right? I don't. I just remember Domino's and Pizza Hut. And then all of a sudden, Papa John's just popped on the scene, right? Like after high school, you're like, dang, these guys are everywhere for me. And because they grew from 220 locations in 94 to 1,600 locations in 98. That thing grew like wildfire. And John Shatner, he said, he goes, my job's not to make pizza. He goes, my job is to build the people that are going to build the company. Grow your people. Develop your people. How do you develop your people? Lead by example. Lead by example. And if you're brand new and you're like, I don't know what to do, find out how to do it fast. I mean, there's so many resources available. Get excited about your unfolding future because it's not what it used to be. So understand leaders math, right? Let me give you another example of leaders math, right? Okay. This is from 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Leaders that develop leaders, they multiply their growth. Leaders that develop followers, they add one at a time. So multiplication versus addition. That's it. That's leaders math. So if you're developing a leader, you're going to multiply your organization. Your leader, if you're developing somebody that can do this business without your support, teach, train, duplicate, right? It's like recruit, teach, train, duplicate, recruit, teach, train, duplicate, recruit, teach, train, duplicate. And it's tell, show, try, do what I'm doing. Listen to me carefully, but watch me even closer. So we're looking to develop leaders, not develop followers. You're not looking for people. You're not trying to wipe somebody's butt when they're 17 years old, right? So here's what we have to realize. How do we develop leaders? We're going to talk a little bit about that right now, but I want to drill home this leaders math, right? I want to make sure you understand it. This is from John C. Maxwell's book, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Law number 20, the law that helped me make the most amount of money is the law of explosive growth. That's law number 20. That's exactly where I got this information from, okay? Leaders that develop followers and leaders that develop leaders. Leaders that develop followers, they need to be needed. Leaders that develop leaders, they want to be succeeded. Completely different motivation, right? Some people have the need to be liked. Some people have the need to be right. Some people have the need to be needed, and some people have the need to win, right? I don't need to be liked. I don't need to be needed. I don't need to be right. I just need to do what? I need to win. That's what my necessity is, right? So how do you win? How do you win? We got to develop leaders, okay? So when you develop followers, you focus on weaknesses. When you develop leaders, you focus on strengths. So when I talk to people and they're like, and they say stuff about their organization that's like not positive, I'm like, damn, dude, like, I'm glad I'm not on your team. Because if you look at people's weaknesses, you're going to develop weak people. If you focus on their strengths, you're going to develop stronger people. Whatever you focus on expands. So when you look at your team, do you look at what you don't like, or do you look at what you like? And that's really the question you got to ask yourself, right? An example would be this. On a piece of paper, if you're writing notes, is 1 + 1 is 2. 2 + 2 is 4. 3 + 3 is 5, right? 4 + 4 is 8. And when I write that out, I wish I would have done it in this PowerPoint. First thing everybody always says is, dude, 3 + 3 is not 5, Tim, it's 6. Because we've been trained to look for what's wrong with stuff. You look for what's the problem with stuff. Don't look for what's wrong with stuff. Look for what's right with stuff. Like when I homeschool my kids and I grade their papers, I don't make a red mark on what they got wrong. I put a smiley face or a check mark what they got right. I'm looking for what you got right. You know, and it's like, think about this, you guys. I never graduated high school. I homeschooled my 17-year-old son. Yale, the college Yale was they came to his high school to talk to him about trying to recruit him to go to Yale. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, I never graduated high school and I was your homeschool teacher from first grade to eighth grade. I'm dumb as a rock. But what did I do? I got him to focus on the strengths, which is what? Doing the right behavior, doing the right stuff. So it's like you want to get people to be excited about what they're doing right. You know, if you're teaching a baby how to walk and every time they fall, you start laughing at them and throwing things at a kid. It's like, dude, somebody needs to be calling Child Protective Services on you. You know what I mean? Like, come on, baby. So leaders develop followers. They treat people the same for fairness. Leaders develop leaders treat leaders as individuals for an impact, right? It's like, you know, you gotta understand how to work with different people. Okay, some people you can be challenged. Some people got to pick up. Some people got to be hugged. Some people, you know, it's like some people I put mittens on with. Some people I put boxing gloves with. Right. So leaders develop leaders. Our leaders develop followers. They hoard the power. Leaders develop leaders. Give the power away. You're looking for people that can do it without your help. You're not trying to do it all. You're trying to get people to do it. How do you do it? You lead by example. You lead by example. You lead by example and get other people to do the same thing. Leaders develop followers. Spend time with others. Leaders develop leaders. Invest time with others. Leaders develop followers, grow by addition. Leaders develop leaders, grow by multiplication. This is the big one. Leaders that develop followers, they impact only the people they touch. Leaders that develop leaders impact people far beyond their own reach. That's the biggest thing about it, man. That's the biggest thing about it and when I talk to leaders that are in the industry and I ask them, who's your lineage? Where did you come from? And I just trace it up. And when I meet people that are like, oh my God, the guy that mentored your mentor, I trained him how to do it 25, it blows me away that it was like, you teach, train, and duplicate, teach, train, and duplicate. And people go out there and they do the same thing. And you'll meet people that are like, you never even met them personally, but they're like, dude, I learned from the guy that, you know, that you taught. And the only way that happens is if you develop leaders. You want to develop leaders. How many leaders? I measure people's success by, when I look at people in our industry, I don't care how much money they made. It's who are the leaders that they've developed? Who have they given birth to? That to me is the biggest measure of success, right? How does a giraffe know it's a giraffe? When a giraffe gives birth to a giraffe, it knows it's a giraffe. I mean, it's confirmation, right? You give birth to what you are, not what you want, right? So a crocodile is going to give birth to a crocodile, right? I don't even know if they give birth. I think they lay eggs, but whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? So basically, law number 5, we duplicate what we are. We duplicate what we are, okay? Goes right back to the giraffe, right? So like, give an example. This is how you and I are, right? We look at our DMO, right? Daily method of operation. The secret to my success is found on my daily agenda. That's where you're going to find, you're like, how does Tim do it? Just look at my calendar. If you look at my schedule, you'll figure out how I'm able to do this business. That's the same way that you are as a leader, right? Everybody knows when they look at you, they're like, man, you know what? That person's making it because of their schedule. They do the work, right? They do the work. And you understand, leaders like you and I, we understand major time versus minor time, right? I love what Jim Rohn says. He goes, don't spend major time on minor things and don't spend minor time on major things. What's major time and what's minor time? Jim Rohn says major time is in the presence of prospects. He says minor time is everything else. So when I'm in front of somebody that's a prospect, that's major time. Now, even if somebody gets started, they're still a prospect, right? Until they become a manager, they're still a prospect. We've got to understand that our brand new people are just as important as our prospects that have never even been introduced to it. We've got to make sure that we don't, get a first down and I know the Super Bowl's coming up on Sunday, right? I know we've got some people that are Eagles fans on here, some people that are Chiefs fans on here, and some people that are either people that care less. They're just on the halftime show. But if you get a first down and you spike the ball, you look foolish, right? You don't get excited about a first down, get excited about a touchdown, right? And it's the opposition, right? It's 11 of the people that are trying to rip your head off that when you get that touchdown, it's okay to celebrate. So it's the opposition, it's the challenge. So don't get excited when you get a brand new planner started. Get excited whenever you help them become a manager. That's time to get excited. Now, get excited from the standpoint of welcome them to the team and get excited about them and their new opportunity, that they're on board with this. We're excited about their growth, but don't accept like, hey, I did a good job until you at least get them to manager, right? Now it's like, okay, good. You taught them how to wipe their own butt, right? So it's like, boom, right? We got to develop leaders. Okay, everybody's like, dude, you got to stop with the butt wipe and stuff too. So here it is, MMA, right? And I'm not talking this. I know some of you are big into MMA, right? I don't know if Julian Doan's on, but Julian Doan's an MMA guy, right? I'm not talking about mixed martial arts. I'm talking about money-making activities, right? Money-making activities. Money-making activities. Understand the difference between money-making activities and basically, what's the other type of activities? Tension-relieving activities, right? It's like, oh, I'm going to make a list. I've got my list, and then on my list has got a list, and I got a list and a list of a list of a list. It's like, dude, talk to people, bro. Like, talk to people. Like, sometimes people send me text messages that are like 25 miles long. I'm like, I don't have time to read that because I'm too busy working. I don't know how you had time to talk it to be able to do that if you're talking to people. Like, if we're busy playing tag, right? We're not, we just have fun and unwrap Christmas gifts all day long, exposes business to people. You're looking for what? Looking for customers, looking for customer getters, looking for customers, looking for customer getters. That's it. Dummy it down, guys. This is not hard, right? Use the product, talk about the product, demonstrate the product, use talk demo. Anybody can do it. Find a wrinkle, slap some cream on, let's go. So you want to be consistently consistent over a long period of time, consistently consistent, not consistently inconsistent, right? And then you want to what? Lead by example. When you do that, what happens? Your team is going to do what you do, right? Solid leadership is like this. Listen to me carefully, but watch me even closer. Listen to me carefully, but watch me even closer. Weak leadership is this. Listen to me carefully, but don't watch me too close, right? You want to not be that leader. You want to be that leader. It's like, if somebody's like, Tim, I'm having challenges. You're like, okay, well, let me show you what I'm doing that's working. What I'm doing that's working. Look at my calendar. This is working. Let me look at your calendar. And you understand we duplicate what we are. So let me give you an example of what I'm talking about, right? This is a very good example. Is let's say you understand it's going to take time, right? Say year number 1 is just you. And maybe you sign up some people, but you don't really have anybody that's really crushing it. Maybe 1, maybe 2 or whatever. But let's say by year 2, let's say you have 5 people that are doing what you're doing, that are leading from the front, right? That are leading by example. And then by year number 3, those 5 have duplicated what you did. Now you got 25 people. I'm not saying find 5 people, they find 5 people, they find 5 people. I'm not talking about that in days or months. I'm talking about years. If you stay consistently consistent over a long period of time, people are going to pick up on what you do. I mean, people all the time is like, Tim, I've been in for 3 months and I'm not rich yet. It's like, what are you talking about? It takes time to learn a new skill. It takes time to find the right people. It takes time to plant seeds and have them grow. We don't have to figure out how to have them grow. All we got to do is what? Plant. That's the easy part. God does the hard part. God says, give me the seed and I'll make it a tree. What? What'd you say, God? If I plant the seed, you're going to make the tree? That's what I'm talking about. I don't have to make the tree. All I have to do is plant the what? Seed. And if I'm a farmer and I go out to my crop and I go out to my ground, I say, man, I need a good harvest. You know what the ground's going to say? Then you need to plant some seeds, Tim. You got to plant some seeds, buddy. So I understand that life responds to what? Deserve, not need. Life is going to give you what you deserve, not what you need. Somebody says, Tim, I need this opportunity to work. Then you need a plan. And if you consistently just plan and plan and plan and plan and plan, guess what's going to happen? Maybe by the beginning of year 2, you get 5 people come along and say, man, I like what you're doing. Use talk demo. Change your face, change your finances. Let's go. And what would happen if you had 5 other people that are out there doing what you're doing? Right? Tell, show, try, do. Let's go. And then by year number 3, they duplicate. Now you got 25 people that are out there that are making it happen. And by year number 4, you got 125 people. By year number 5, you have 625 people that are out there building the business. I'm not talking about somebody that signs up as a planner. I'm talking about somebody that commits to growing and learning and developing. If you had 625, what would year 6 look like if they duplicated that? 3125, could you imagine if you just in year 1 become a team leader and by the end of year 1 or by the end of year 2, you have 5 team leaders on your team. And by the end of year 3 or beginning of year 3, you have 25. And by the end of 4, you have 125. And by year 5, you have 625. What could happen? So be the person you want to attract, right? We're going to attract and we're going to duplicate what we are, not what we want. So how do you develop people? You got to avoid the attitude roller coaster, right? Don't let your lows get too low and don't let your highs get too high. Don't let your lows get too low and don't let your highs get too high. I get people who will call me, oh my God, you're not going to believe this, Tim. I got this recruit. If this guy gets started, the world's going to. I was like, please stop. You sound like a baby, dude. Like, it doesn't matter who you recruit. What matters is who you are. It doesn't matter what your team looks like. It matters who you are, because you're gonna find the people. It doesn't matter who you coach. You're gonna win if you have the right mindset, right? It's like, understand, you just got to lead by example. Don't let your lows get too low. Oh my God, I talked to this person, they said no. Just keep planting. Just keep planting the seed. I planted a seed, Tim, and a bird came and got it. What are we gonna do? Let's go shoot birds. No. Let's just keep planting. There's not enough birds to get all the seed that we got. Just keep planting. So don't let your lows get too low. Don't let your highs get too high. Just keep on keeping on. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming like Dory, right? From that book, from that movie, right? Remember, people won't follow people that can't control their emotions. If you're excited one day and you're down in the out the next day, it's like, just be consistently consistent. Don't be up and down emotionally. Oh, dude, you don't understand what happened, Tim. Look, I understand that you had a seed that was growing and then a thorn got it. A bug got it. Dude, it happens. Just keep planting. It doesn't matter. You're the sower of the seed. If you want to reap a good harvest, you got to plant. Don't worry about what happens. Worry about what you do about it. So remember, don't get ups and downs. Oh my God, it doesn't. Keep on planting. We don't have to make the tree. We just got to plant the seed. So have long-term vision and build for the long haul, right? That's how it's like 5 years from now, that's not going to matter. Just keep on planning, keep on planning, keep on planning. Manage your expectations. Manage your expectations. Sometimes you're like, oh my God, I had this person. I thought they were really going to be great. It's the same thing. I had this little tree that was growing, and the next thing you know, the thorns choked it to death. Just keep planting. Just keep planting. Just keep planting. Maintain your composure, right? My mentor said you got to be like a duck, paddling like a crazy under the water, but on the surface, calm, cool, and collected, right? It's kind of like James Bond on the outside, Terminator on the inside, right? If you don't have a guest, you need the meeting, right? If you have guests, the meeting needs you. This is how I was taught, right? I kept going to events whether I had guests or not. Guess what I did? I just started bringing guests. I didn't want to go without guests. So it's like, if you're committed to getting on calls and learning and growing and developing, you're going to say, man, you know what? I might as well make it happen. Positives are what? Positives are go down, negatives go up, right? If you got something negative to say, don't tell your downline, right? Somebody's like, well, I bought this product and man, the box was smashed, dude. It's like, dude, I planted a seed and guess what happened? I don't know what happened. I just keep on planting. Like, don't get discouraged and don't get over the top jacked up. Just keep grinding. Fall in love with the process. I'm in love with doing the activity. I'm in love with sharing the products. I'm in love with sharing the opportunity. I'm in love with telling the story. So it's not work to me. I had somebody the other day go, Tim, your schedule's insane. I could never do that. Well, because I'm not working. This is like play to me. I'm like playing tag all day long, opening up Christmas gifts, having fun. It's like, I have so much fun with this. So just have more fun. So B word duplicating. This is the last law, and this one you're going to love, right? B word duplicating, right? There's something called Sinaloa, safety in numbers and law of averages. The numbers don't lie. The numbers will tell us the story, right? My mentor taught me this stuff. He said, make the box so small so a story won't fit. He would ask me, what are your numbers? Because we didn't have reporting back in the 90s, okay? We didn't, like today you can just look, and I can just look at somebody's volume and I can tell the story of what's going on with them and their business. Back in the 90s, we had to do facts on demand. And you would have to get a big printout of facts of like, so when I got involved in this industry, we didn't have reporting like we do now. My mentor would have me grab an expo marker. We would do leadership meetings. He would go right on the board how many new people you got this month and what your volume is. And when we go into the leadership meeting, we'd write down what it is. And he told me he would have a little box, and I would say, well, won't fit in the box, Tim. All I need is a number. How many people did you enroll today? How many customers did you get? How many people? And that'll tell you what you're doing. Okay. It'll tell you what you're doing. The numbers tell us the story. okay? And when you make a box, you make the box so small that a story won't fit, okay? Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Whatever your goal is, like if you want to be a team leader, super simple. How do you become a team leader? You know the volume requirements, you know what it looks like, right? So if let's say that I've got to do 10,000 in volume this month, or 20,000 in volume this month, or 50,000 in volume, it doesn't matter what my goal is, right? It doesn't matter what my goal is. All I got to do is divide what my new volume for planners is. Meaning what? How much, when people get started on my team, what's the average kit that people get started, right? What's the average kit that people are getting started on my team with? Now, if I'm getting a lot of people started, and let's say they're getting started with a 300-point set, not 1,000 or a 1,500 set or higher, what does that tell me about me? That probably means that I'm kind of just begging people into the business instead of making sure that I have confidence. And I'm like, hey, look, you know what? We're going to make this thing happen. Get started with me. I'm going to make sure you make it. Let's get you started. Let's get started and help them get the biggest package possible. But let's just say you have whatever that number is, you can get that number higher, right? You can get that number higher. How? By getting on the phone with these people and upgrading them. If I get somebody started and say they get a 300-point order, what am I going to do? I'm going to upgrade them. I don't want them going to battle with a Kleenex. Like, come on. I want to make sure they have the weapons, right? The weapons are what? The products. Like, the products are the weapons. This is my stuff. This is how I build my business. They got to have the stuff. You got to have your weapons. So I'm going to upgrade them, whatever your situation is, but you're going to have a volume per new rep ratio. You're going to have a ratio of whatever that looks like. And whatever that is, you have a sign-up ratio. What that means is if I expose a business to 10 people, how many get started? So if I do a presentation, I do 10 presentations and 4 people get started, what's my ratio? 40%, right? If I do 4 presentations and 1 gets started, what's my ratio? 25%. So you're going to have a ratio. If you do something long enough, what? A ratio will appear. That's super simple. So you're going to have a ratio of people that you talk to that get started in the business. And then you break that down per day. So I'm going to give you an example of what I'm talking about. Let's say my goal this month is 10,000 in new volume, right? Because I want to be doing at least 10,000 a month in volume on my way to team leader, right? Now, if you want to hit team leader this month because you want to be able to go to the party at convention, then we got to step up our pace, but it's all doable. It doesn't matter what numbers I plug in. It doesn't matter. So if I want to do 10,000 new volume and I'm getting 750 points per brand new planner that comes in, that means I need 13 new planners to get 10,000 volume. Now, I focus on that number. Why? Because I can control this number. Now, I'm going to pick up tons of customers too. If I talk to 4 people and 1 says, yes, I'm going to be a planner, the other 3 are going to be what? Customers. Now, some people lead with the product first and then they backdoor people as planners later. However you do it, I don't care. It doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong. The key is to do it, right? What I do is I lead with the opportunity. If they want to do it, I backdoor them as a customer. No matter what, I get the same result, right? But it's the same situation. If I need 13 new planners, I got to times it by 1 out of 4 if that's my ratio. My ratio is a little bit higher than 25%, but let's just say 25% is my closing ratio. That means I need to do 53. Guys, if I know some of you are like, Tim, I'm not a numbers person. Look, guys, I didn't graduate high school. I'm dumb as a rock, okay? But you just got to understand this because whatever the numbers are, the numbers will work. That when you understand this, there's no excuses. Everybody can win. It's not hard to figure out. Just play more tag. You understand? Because if I'm getting 1 out of 4 people to get started, I need 13 new planners. That needs what? That means I need to do 53 presentations. If I do 53 presentations in a 25-day period, that's 2 presentations a day. That's very part-time. Like it's easier for me to do 10 presentations a day than 2. It's easier for me to do the presentation, meaning to do 10 one-on-ones a day or 10 5-on-1s a day or 10, whatever it is, a pop-up, they'll put me online, throw a Zoom, boom, we'll do a Zoom, a pop-up, wherever. Just go, let's go. And whatever that is, it's easy to do that. So if you just run the numbers, it'll work for you. The numbers don't lie. It's not hard to figure out. All you got to do is do the work. It works. Working works when wishing won't, right? If you want to do 100,000 in volume, all you got to do is do more numbers. But you're allowed to get more presenters. You develop more leadership. If you have 5 people doing what you're doing, guess what? If you're doing 10,000 a month by yourself and you teach 5 people to do it, now you're doing 50,000, right? So you're duplicating people. You're showing, tell, show, try, do. But B, we're duplicating. Understand, people are going to do what you do, not what you say. B, we're duplicating. I remember when I got started, my mentor told me, he said, hey, if somebody followed you around with a camera all day, how much of that would you want your team to see? I'm like, all of it. Like, I would love for somebody to watch what I do all day because they're going to get jacked out of their mind. They're going to be like, dude, I got to go talk to some people too. I'm going to go do it too. So understand, B, we're duplicating, right? It's all about character. Skills can come. You look for character. My mentor said, recruit attitude to teach skills, right? You're looking for character. Skills are easy to develop. Character is hard to develop. You're looking for characters. Yeah, I mean, you're not looking for characters. You're looking for people with character, right? So let me give you another example, right? There's character-driven people versus emotional-driven people. Character-driven people do right, then they feel good. Emotionally driven people feel good, then they do right. Character-driven people are commitment-driven. Emotional-driven people are convenience-driven. Character-driven people make principle-based decisions. Emotional-driven people make popular-based decisions. Character-driven people, action controls their attitude. Emotional-driven people, attitude controls their action. Character-driven people believe it, then they see it. Emotional-driven people see it, then they believe it. Character-driven people create momentum. Emotional-driven people wait for momentum. Character-driven people ask, what are my responsibilities? What are my responsibilities? Emotional-driven people, what are my rights? Character-driven people continue when problems arise. Emotional-driven people quit when problems arise. Character-driven people are steady. Emotional-driven people are moody. Character-driven people are leaders. Emotional-driven people are followers. Be a character-based leader. Be a character-driven person. It's so much better. Life is way better when you do that, okay? So let me give you another example of what I'm talking about. There's a book, right, called The Leadership Challenge that I got when it first came out. One of my mentors got it for me, and I read the book. My favorite thing from it was what? DWISYWD. DWISYWD. Do what you say you will do. Do what you say you will do. And I'm telling you, this is the most important conversation. It's not necessarily with other people. It's with yourself. Are you telling yourself what you're going to do and doing it? That's the key. It's about looking in the mirror. It's about having that internal dialogue with yourself, not letting yourself down. It's not what your upline thinks or your downline thinks or your leadership thinks. None of that matters. What matters is what you know about you. Do you do what you say you're going to do? Not just to other people, but to yourself. I know some of you are like, man, I don't ever let people down. I do everything I can. I get it. But I'm talking about, do you let yourself off the hook? My mentor told me, says, if you're hard on yourself, life will be easy on you. But if you're easy on yourself, life will be hard on you. Understand DWISYWD, right? Integrity. Integrity is a clear correspondence between your words and your actions. Okay, but your words and your deeds. When what you say and what you do are in alignment. Do what you say you're going to do. Long after the mood you say it and leaves you, make a commitment. Okay, make a commitment. You got to have those values, right? You got to know what I'm talking about. So B, we're duplicating. Understand you're the lead dog. You're the pace setter of your own organization. You're the lead dog of your team. Okay, and how to experience a breakthrough? It all starts with attitude. It all starts with attitude. Okay, your attitude is going to determine whether you do it or not do it. Like, give an example. If you have a good attitude, let's say we're talking. I talked about 2 people a day. Presenting to 2 people a day. If you have a good attitude, do you have can you do that? Yeah, you have the potential to do it. So it's not about potential. What determines whether you unlock that potential or waste that potential is your attitude. It's your attitude. If you have a good attitude, you're going to tap that potential. If you got a bad attitude, you're going to waste that potential. Your attitude is going to determine whether you unlock your potential or waste your potential. Do you have the potential to get on a call and take notes and learn and grow? Do you have the potential to do that? Yes. What determines whether you do it or not? Your attitude. Remember, attitudes are contagious. Make sure yours is worth catching. Just be on fire. Get excited. Be passionate. Love what you're doing. And when you have that type of attitude, you're going to tap into your potential. When you tap into your potential, you're going to take the right activity. So whether you take the activity and you do the activity or you don't do the activity, it's going to be based upon your attitude. Because if you have the right attitude, you're not going to tap your potential. You're going to take very limited activity and you're going to get very limited results. But if you have a good attitude, you're going to tap into your potential. And when you tap into your potential, you're going to take the right activity steps. When you take the right activity steps, you're going to get the best results. So make sure your attitude is worth catching. Some people have a case of what I call stinking thinking. They need a checkup from the neck up. All you got to do is what? Be fired up and excited about your unfolding future. Have a good attitude about all that you do. This is going to be fun. Like that's exactly what I told Danny word for word. I said, bro, I'm having so much fun right now because I know you're working just as hard as I am. It's like, man, we're having so much fun. It's like challenge yourself. Unlock the best potential that's in you. Like ask yourself, what do I look like when I'm on fire? What do I look like when I have an eye gaze that says I'm up to something? What does that look like? What does the best version of me look like? With my excitement and my passion. Well, Tim, I don't like this or I don't like that. Don't be a fault finder. Be a good finder. Some people look for fault like there's a reward for it. You understand? I'm looking for the good. What do I like best about? Focus on what you like. Focus on, and you're gonna make it expand. When you focus on your team, what do you like? It's gonna expand. Your attitude, be Tigger, not Eeyore. Eeyore's always looking for his tail. Tigger's always jacked out of his mind. Be excited, man. If you went to the 100-acre wood, who would you want to hang with? Who would you want to hang with? Right? Be that person, right? Okay, we're not going to the 100-acre wood. So call to action. Let's make it happen as we wrap this thing up. Have 5 guests on the Monday and Saturday Zooms. Tomorrow, Saturday, I'm going to be doing the overview. You got some guests? Get them on, man. Call some people. What would happen if you had 5 guests on? Would you be in a better situation? Do you have the potential to do that? Yes. Will you? We take the activity. It's going to determine your attitude is going to determine that, right? Monday, we got an amazing call, right? With a great Christy Bellison, Chrissy Malone, and Lisa Tucker. These 3 are on fire. So Saturday, right? I'm going to be doing that call, right? Monday, they're going to be doing that call. Get guests on. Create a manager ASAP. One manager at a time, brick by brick, inch by inch, right? Yard by yard, it's hard. Inch by inch, it's a cinch. One manager at a time. All we got to do is what? Create one manager and then create another manager and create tell, show, try, do. Let's go, right? And then qualify for team leader party, man. Let's go party at the team leader party. What would happen if you did it? Somebody's like, well, Tim, I'm far away. Well, guess what? Let's do it anyways. What a great story it would be if you hit team leader this month. Somebody says, Tim, I'm brand new. Well, then that's even a better story, right? Let's go. Let's go. Let's give it all that we got. So I'm going to wrap this up here by talking about simply this, is make a decision in your mind. Make a decision in your heart that says, man, I'm going to the top, right? Over, under, through, I'm going to make it happen, right? Have that contagious enthusiasm, right? Enthusiasm is the most contagious of all human emotions. Get excited about your unfolding future. Make a decision in your mind that says, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to go all out. I'm going to get the job done. Over, under, through, I'm going to win. I'm going to be a success. I'm going to light look, what would happen if you just lit yourself on fire? People come from miles to watch you burn. Just get passionate, excited. You can do it. Think about it. Anybody can do it. Anybody can make it happen. It's not about can or can't. It's about will or won't. All we have to do is do the work, play tag more, have more fun. How much fun are you having? I'm having too much fun. I'm having so much fun. Why? Because this is just fun. We're helping people become better looking. What? That's like God's work. Like only God does that, right? It's like, boom. No, we're like, boom, we're taking these products and be like, this is like what miracle workers over here. I'm telling you what. And what are we doing? Helping people make more money? What are we doing? This is not hard. Find people who want to make money. Find people who want to look better. Oh my God, I can't find those people. Where are you looking? In your closet? Talk to people. They're out there. It's hard to find people that don't want to do that stuff. Just get excited. Go all, I'm telling you right now, don't let this moment in time slip through your fingertips. This is our time to do something special. This is our time to do something great. And I'm telling you, you've got what it takes. You have what it takes, but it's going to take what you got. That's the difference maker. You've got what it takes. It's going to take what you got. What would happen if you went all out? What would happen if you went all in? What would happen if you raised your belief system and turned your attitude absolutely positive for everybody? Every time they talk to you, you're the best part of somebody's day. Oh my God, I'm getting excited thinking about that. So let's go all out massive action this week. Let's make it happen. Let's lock arms. Let's become a success all together. Let's make sure nobody gets left behind. Let's all make sure that we all win together. I appreciate everybody's time. Hopefully you guys got some value out of this. Let's go all out. Appreciate you guys. See you guys soon. Take care, everybody.